Hello to everyone, I hope that you're doing well. In this video, because many of you asked, I'm gonna tell you how much exactly cost me the whole Russian trip, all the way from Bulgaria to Magadan. I'm gonna tell you all the details, so if you have nothing to do, grab your favorite drink and stay with me. Alright, as I said, many people ask me how much everything costs, and that's why I decided to write down every cost that I've got and share these numbers with you guys. It is not cheap in any way, it's a lot of money, but I will say it is worth it. Probably the best spent money in the current situation. Alright, I will split the cost to three different steps. The first step is before the trip. Before the trip, I spent a huge amount of money just to prepare the motorcycle for the journey. And I start with a 250 euros visa. All the prices will be in euros. It is easy for me to calculate it. But you can then change it to dollars or whatever currency you have. So 250 euros is only the visa, Russian visa for 3 months that I need to travel to Magadan. You definitely need 3-month visa, otherwise you can't make it. The time is not going to be enough. Then I spent 300 euros for tires, front and rear. Tires that I needed to reach Russia. On the whole journey, I spent 3 sets of tires, but we'll come to this a little bit later. So these are the money that I spent before the trip, still in Bulgaria. So 250 euros for visa, 300 euros for tires. After that, I spent another 60 euros for oil change. I change the oil before I go. Then I have 200 euros for spare brake pads. I've got 4 brake pads for the rear and another one set for the front. It's all together cost me like 200 euros. Then I have 50 euros for tubes, spare tubes that I need to take with me. I have 50 euros for sparks. I changed the sparks before I go. And I had another 150 euros for new chain and sprockets. Altogether, it's 1060 euros. I will add another 100 euros just for something that I already forgot, which is mean that 1160, let's say 1200 euros before the trip, before I even go. And then during the trip in Russia, I went into Russia with 3000 euros in cash, 3200 to be more precise. And at the moment I went into Russia, these 3,000 euros or 3,200 euros were 320,000 rubles. Because now the rate is 1 euro is 100 Russian ruble. But keep in mind that if I was doing this trip last year, when the ruble was 50-60, 1 euro was 50-60 rubles, it would cost me twice as more. So now at the moment, because of the rate, because the ruble dropped so much, I was able to exchange it for 320,000 rubles. So all the money that I said, these 300,000 rubles, I already spent. I've got probably around 10,000 left with me, and I'm gonna spend it in the next few days before I leave Russia. So all of these 3,200 euros are spent in Russia. From this money, I spent 1/3 of this money was spent for tires and oil changes. I have 2 more sets of tires that I bought here in Russia, and each one of the sets cost me around 300 euros or 30,000 rubles. And I also have another one front tire, which is mean 2 sets of tires plus another one front tire. And all of this, and 3 oil changes that I already have done here, all of this is like 1/3 of the price. The rest of the money, the rest 200,000 rubles, I spent for food, for accommodation, for all the costs that I've got on the road. And here's something important. Keep in mind that I spent at least 20 days or maybe a little bit more in bike posts that usually are free. Of course, I gave some money, but not the price of the hotels. And also, I spent many days and nights in different people's houses, including this club now at the moment. I'm here for free. 3 days now and 3 days when I started, which is means 6 days. And hotels in Russia, here in St. Petersburg, are very expensive. If I have to pay for hotels here, it will be another at least 500 euros for 6 or 7 days here in St. Petersburg. That's why I was able to save a lot of money, but it is still expensive journey. So once again, 1,200 before the trip and another 3,200 during the trip. This is already 4,400 euros. But once again, keep in mind that I travel very cheap. I travel on budget. I always try to find the best deal with the hotels, cheap hotels, not luxury in any way. For the whole period of 3 months, I've got, not the whole period, let's say since I came into the Russia, I've got only 2 hotel rooms with the toilet in the room. The rest were more like hostels. Toilet and showers were always on the floor, and there were many options without toilet and shower either. So that's why I was able to travel for such an amount. If you want to have a nice hotels or a little bit better places, the price will rise significantly. So 4,400 euros, it's what I spent before the trip and during the trip. And I have another one, I will say like maybe 600-700 euros to come from Bulgaria to Russian border and the same amount of money to go back. And again, keep in mind that I slept in many people's houses and I saved a lot of money, but still money for petrol, still money for food on the road. And yeah, it will be the same on the way back. So I will say roughly it will be not less than 5,000 euros. This journey will cost me 5,000 euros. And this is before I go back and change all the things that I have to change. And if we have to calculate it properly, the money that I'm going to spend after the trip have to be calculated to the trip, because when I go back, I need to change the oil again, which means that the oil is already used. Okay, the oil I'm going to use later, but I'm going to change the spark plugs that are already worn out. I'm going to change the oil in the forks. I have to check and probably adjust the valve clearance, and I have to deassembly and loop the whole linkage and all of this stuff. Many things need to be checked and probably changed when I come back. So this will be another one expense which I have to add on the top of the journey, and I guess that I will finish around 5,500 euros everything for 3 months trip, 90 days or a little bit more. And now again, you can say this is very expensive. Yes, it is expensive. Luckily, half of the price was paid from my sponsors. Half of the price was paid from me. Also, I'm thankful that many people also support my trip and they send some money. Every euro, every dollar matters, and I'm very, very thankful for this. But for this amount of money, as I said, a lot of money, but I was able to see almost everything. I actually have done 35,000 kilometers so far, and I still got like 4,000 kilometers before I reach home, which is mean 49,000 kilometers, more 1,000 kilometers, and I will make a circle around the equator. Anyway, just for comparison, I will tell you that last year, when I was traveling around Europe, all the way to Portugal and back, for 1.5 months, I spent 2,500 euros only for petrol. I did not count the rest of the money, like hotels, food, and everything that I spent. But I guess that the journey last year cost me about the same money for 15,000 kilometers and double less time. That's why I believe that now at the moment the best place to travel is Russia. Yes, the situation is different, it's not good, but the experience that I have here in the country is just brilliant. And I hope that this information will be useful to at least one person to make the proper calculation and eventually come here and write this wonderful country. See you in the next video. Ciao.